Everybody, my name is Alexander Wong and I'm with Millennium Interstate Realty. Welcome back to another weekly business spotlight. Today, I am here with Arushi and she is the owner of Hounds that just opened up in Matawan. So we're here to see what made her start her own business. I know we got a little one joining us today. He might be the co-owner soon. We don't know though, but awesome. So I don't know if you'd like to give a little introduction about yourself.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Arushi. Like Alex mentioned, I'm the owner of Houndstown. I've been in my own business now for less than a year, but now I have two businesses. So I'm learning a wealth of experiences as we're going through this year, but I'm excited to share whatever I've learned so far and be a resource to anyone that's interested in making that pivot into becoming a small business owner.
That's excellent. And I know I'm a little entrepreneur spirit too, and I can see that in you. So you said you have two businesses. What's the other one?
I own the Goddard School in Hazlitt.
Nice. I haven't seen that yet. What's that about?
It's a children's daycare center. I purchased it. Me and my dad are business partners in it. So I purchased it in February, just 3 weeks after this little one was born.
Mhm.
Um, and I've been here pretty much every day, including weekends since. So
That's awesome. I'm definitely, well, not now. I mean, in a couple years, if you're still around, I definitely have to 100% check it out.
100%.
Awesome. So I'm sorry, it's very rude of me. What's the little one's name joining us today?
His name is Keon.
Dion?
Um, yeah, he just got a helmet, so he's getting used to it, which is I think part of his discomfort, which is why he's here.
Hmm. I mean, I played football, so I know it's a different type of helmet, but I know how he feels. Awesome. Well, let's just get right into it. So first things first, so what were the top reasons for starting Houndstown? And well, this is not your first, but yeah, what were your top reasons for coming up with the idea and all that?
Sure. So, my business partner in Houndstown, Priya, and I have been really good friends since 2012. We
Wow.
spent a lot of time together during quarantine, obviously during COVID. And we were like, we need to, we spent so much time together. We get along really well. She has another business of her own in wedding planning. So she's been entrepreneurial in nature. So I'm like, we should do something. We spent most of 2020 just trying to figure it out and did not come up with a single idea that we liked. Then in 2021, I moved from East Brunswick to South Amboy, and we had gotten a dog in 2020, and I used to send him to doggy daycare in East Brunswick. And then when I realized how far it was, I'm like, we need something closer. So she's previously from Sayreville, and she totally understood the difficulty in finding care for her dog when she was staying in Sayreville. So we started to say, okay, I guess doggy daycare and boarding facility is the way to go. So I think in December of 2021 is when we started our journey to figure out what's going on, and how we can get into it. We thought trying to open our own. We looked into a bunch of different franchises when we landed on Houndstown, totally accidentally. We had never heard of it, but we saw it. We thought it was cool. The colors were bright. I had brought my dog there at another location, loved it. So I told her, I think this is the one. So we looked into the franchise, we did some due diligence, and we're like, let's give it a shot. So when we had reached out to them, they had approved the territory for Old Bridge Matawan, which is where we were looking to open. And we very quickly found a location and then we built it out. So it's really like we wanted a side hustle, and then we found a need in just the environment based on being a customer in that space, and we tried
Mhm.
to bring that solution to the world.
That's awesome. I mean, from majority of people I've spoken to doing this, it seems like it all happens to land on it by accident. It
Yeah,
seems
I
like
think
you always have one goal and then it forms into another, and that's how we end up being where we are. So
exactly.
that is pretty incredible. So I know you said this just recently opened up. So how long has Houndtown been open for in Matawan?
We opened November 4th
Hmm.
in 2023, so we're just under a year.
I can't believe it's been a year already. Does time fly that fast? That's awesome. So
Yeah.
now I know you briefly mentioned it. So what is a little bit of your backstory about why you chose this Matawan Old Bridge? Was it simply just for the convenience, or were there other factors that played into it as well?
So in the doggy daycare business, Finding towns that have the variance to open a daycare or boarding facility is hard, and
Hmm.
to get a use, I think it's called a use variance,
Yep.
just approved by the township, is it takes time and it's a lot of money. So that kind of already narrowed down our search in towns that we were looking into. We knew we wanted to stay close to the Sayreville, South Amboy area, so we were trying to like be as close to that. And really, Old Bridge, Matawan, and East Brunswick were our two options when we were looking. So that's kind of what pushed us into the Old Bridge, Matawan area.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as a resident, it's an amazing area. There's quite literally
Yeah.
everything. That's one thing I really like. It's just if you want quite literally anything, Chinese food, Indian food, French food, whatever you name it, there's always some place that's relatively convenient. I remember
Yeah.
one time I went to the Poconos and we wanted to go to Walmart, 30-minute drive.
Yeah, exactly. It's a happening area. It's definitely being developed, I feel like. So
Hmm.
let's invest in it and give it a shot.
Yeah, and it's also very nice to see how all these new businesses are upcoming and people providing new things to this area. So now,
Thank
what
you.
is some of your favorite parts about this area in specific, and why do you think it's a great place for both visitors and locals?
Um, well, I think you touched upon it. There's a lot going on. There's tons of coffee shops, restaurants, few movie theaters, breweries, bowling alleys, like you name it, we have something of that in the area. But also, from a diversity standpoint, it's nice mix of all kinds of people from all over, and I think that's always nice to have when you're opening different types of businesses, because you kind of just bring in just all types of people, and I love that.
Yeah, and one thing too is I'm a little bit of a people's person, so I always love talking to and meeting new people, and it's always very interesting if you actually have a chance to sit and speak with them to learn, where they came from, how they kind of their thought process are, and how things
Yeah.
are. And one thing I've really learned while doing this spotlight is that there's even people I've known, because I've interviewed business owners that I know, and there's a lot of people I was like, wow, like I never knew this story about them. And it's always
uh,
incredible to hear. And in the back of my mind, I'm always like, I wish more people knew about this. And it's kind of the
is
goal.
that how you started your spotlights?
Sorry.
Is that how you started your spotlights?
Essentially, yes. I began a newsletter and I was thinking, okay, well, I wanted to interact with my community more and volunteer and whatnot. Just at the timing of that didn't really work out for me right now. So I was
Mm.
thinking, what is a way I could get involved? So I asked a couple of my business owner friends. I was like, hey, what are some good ideas or whatnot? And eventually they came up with a podcast type of style of interview, right? It was normally I send you these questions and you answer it type of thing. But I was thinking because I like the interaction and I feel like that actually, sitting there talking to them and verbally doing it was a lot easier because I was asking them, I was like, would you rather answer these questions in email or rather just verbally answer? They're like, oh, verbally. And then eventually formed into what now is the Real Estate Weekly Business Spotlight podcast. And essentially we're trying to stay consistent with doing it every Wednesday morning and provide a new face and opportunity for different business owners who people might not have known about or backstories that they're like, wow, that's incredible, which overall fuels their business and their community. And it's just overall a ability to connect people with one another about their favorite spots to go.
That's really cool.
All right. So what do you think sets Houndstown? What do you do that sets it apart from other, doggy care facilities?
Um, a couple things, but ultimately it comes down to what we call dog management. So
Hmm.
it's how we take care of the dogs in our facility, and ultimately our end goal is creating a natural environment for dogs to be dogs. So yes, we're inside, but dogs don't understand the difference between being inside and being outside.
Yeah,
Dogs
my
just want to
carpet
play.
could tell you that.
Exactly. The dogs just want a place where they can, our founder says, I'm not gonna say it, actually is really inappropriate. But it's a good place for dogs to just come play. We don't have people constantly in the back to just, you know, monitor and be a distraction from that natural environment. What we do is we let dogs be dogs, and then we go in and out of the rooms for cleaning up, and that's how we monitor how the dog's behaviors are to manage any like potential, just like let's say negative energy. If we see anything that looks off, that's when we get involved and try to like separate before it could become a problem proactively. Another thing that sets us apart is we have 5 playrooms.
Hmm.
So usually doggy daycares have 2, maybe 3, but it's like usually small dog, large dog, or small, medium, large. We have 5 because that allows us to separate dogs by size, but also temperament. So if there's like high energy dogs and low energy dogs, but they're the same size and they don't mix well, that allows us for to put them in a way where we can create groups to kind of create a neutral environment to let them play without any too much chaos or too little movement. So that's what we aim to do.
And that's awesome to hear. And especially, because a lot of things people take it at face value. They kind of look at it and know like, oh, this is how it goes. But when you like really deep dive into it, it's very fascinating to learn how everything is, all the puzzle pieces get put together and how businesses and relationships and processes are shaped and structured. So
Mhm.
it's very
Yeah,
nice. I mean, are they like theme rooms or is it just based off, are they like the same room but like dog
yeah. There's
sized oriented?
Yeah, there's just different size. There's 5 rooms. But we have what's called the Houndstown Boulevard. So our
Hmm.
townhomes are decorated with. We tried to make it as local as possible, but like an old bridge, big old place. Like I forgot there's 5 of them, and I should remember. But we have like trying to bring the old bridge piece into it,
Hmm.
but still keeping it a little bit fun. And it's Houndstown. Bringing that town feel is like what we were trying to do.
Oh, that's cute. This must be like a whole vacation for them, right?
And
Paradise.
that's part of what I think is also sets us apart from our competitors is our pricing is all inclusive. So it's not like,
Mm.
um, okay, we charge, one price for dogs up to 45 pounds, and then we add an additional charge for this. And then, oh, you want medicine? Okay, well, that's another $10. We're just a flat boarding rate. And then your dog gets fed as many times as you want them to get fed. If there's any medications, we make sure they're given the medications on time. If there's any special requests, we make sure we take care of that in the boarding fee. And there's no additional daycare fee that goes with the boarding fee. It's just one fee that includes all the play while they stay. So
That's amazing. And I really love especially the type of businesses that provide that transparency. I do that with my businesses as well, whether in any interaction, maybe just flat out saying, this is what we can do for you and this is how it is. I know there's definitely some people who try to be shady and try to sneak in all those extra tips and fees. And I'm sure you know those type of car dealers who may do that, may jack up the price like 10,000 after you're looking at it, you're like, what the heck? Then you have those other ones that are like, all right, well, this is the price of the car. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was that easy.
yeah, exactly.
When I just got my car from a dealership in Little Silver, and when I saw the listing price versus the actual price, it was just a little bit of taxes. I was like, oh, I didn't
You're like,
expect
no
that.
way. This is not real life.
I know, because I remember one of my first ever car. I put a hold on it. And I was like, I'm so excited. Then when they handed me the paperwork, it was almost like 6,000 more. And I was like, whoa, 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 I want my money back. This is outrageous. So
Yeah.
that's very
That's
nice to hear. Now, what was one of your biggest surprises that you faced as a business owner?
like since we were building out or
I
since we've
mean,
been
it could be either one. Whatever whatever is most surprising to you.
um honestly, I don't think anything was surprising. I think
Or
I
perhaps
knew
maybe a challenge you didn't expect.
yeah, construction was a challenge I didn't I didn't expect. We ran into, just township delays. I mean, it's part I guess you know that it happens, but then when it's happening to you, you're like, why is this happening? But we were intending to open in July, and because of just general construction delays and then township inspection, you run into things that you don't even expect.
Mm-hmm.
So that pushed our opening date from July until November, which was tough. But besides that, everything, I mean, we've had challenges, don't get me wrong, but they've been manageable. That was the, I'd say, hardest thing that we've dealt with so far.
Yeah, I mean, hey, not having any big surprises or challenges could be a good thing, right? So that's good
Yeah.
to hear. Now, what opportunities do you see for future or expansion? Or what do you, sorry, what opportunities do you see for growth or expansion in the future?
Um, so obviously within our first year, we're still growing our clientele. And I think
Hmm.
in the business that we're in, it's not something that ever stops. I think it's going to be a constant, you know, people get new dogs all the time, and then dogs kind of age out of the daycare environment. So it's a constant cycle that we'll be living in. And that's one thing we're learning as we're going. Um, but Priya and I came into this with every hope that we grow into 5 franchise locations, right? So
Hmm.
our first one, we hope it goes really well so we can get it to our second one and we kind of continue that pattern. But more to come on that hopefully.
100%. I mean, to be honest, I was honestly fascinated myself when I first walked in. I was a little confused though. I thought I was locked in a cage, but once I got past that the front door, I was like, wow, this because I mean, I couldn't really see over the glass, but it looked beautiful in there. So, very nice
So
to
the
see.
best reveal is there to keep dogs safe. If we ever have dogs that escape and run into our lobby, they can't just
Hmm.
put their way out into the parking lot. So it's a way to keep them safe in our facility.
That's
So
smart.
sorry it was confusing when you walked in, but it's for the safety of our dogs.
It's all good. It's just a smart idea. I mean, I'd be honest, I didn't think about that at first, but now that you said that, I'm like, oh, duh, that's why. Now, I have to ask the question that everybody watching this is probably thinking. What is your favorite dog breed?
Mm, I am a golden retriever girl.
Golden
I love
Retriever?
so goofy and sweet. I love them.
That's awesome. And those are your dogs?
No, I have a
Uh,
golden because my husband is
hmm.
allergic.
Oh
So we had to
no.
yeah, but I love golden retrievers.
That's awesome. They're fun. Um, I don't remember the breed. My aunt had a dog. I think it was a no, it was I don't know off the top of my head. It's like my mind's going blank. I'm not so good with dog breeds, but she did have a bigger dog. I don't remember what breed it was, but it was a type of golden retriever, I believe. But
Aw.
he was the best. He was super adorable. And every time I go over to the aunt's house, he would always jump on me with joy. But to
That's
be honest, I'm a little bit more of a smaller dog person. I have a Havanese who is 11, and
oh,
I have a Shih Tzu who is 1. So you can
oh,
just imagine how crazy she drives her sister.
oh, I believe that.
Mhm. My Havanese, her name is Chloe, and the Shih Tzu is Cookie. So
Sweet.
hmm they could tend to be a little bit crazy. I'll send you pictures afterwards.
I love that. Yeah.
Awesome. So I wanted to thank you so much. Just wrapping up the final question here. We have, what is a key piece of advice that you would give out to people who want to achieve their goals in life?
This is gonna sound so corny, but I truly believe in this one.
Hmm.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. I think, we go into, I mean, when I went into this, I knew I didn't know everything about doggy daycare or the childcare industry or being a business owner, but I went into it, and in order to be successful, you have to ask questions, you have to ask for guidance, you don't have to listen to everything you get, but definitely have to, start getting tidbits of just pieces of information so that you can think back on it and then make the decision that makes the most sense for you. But I think it's really important for especially new business owners to know that you don't know everything going into it. So don't be afraid to ask for help and guidance and then use that to find your way through. It's a tough journey for sure. I'm like, I worry about everything. So I'm a worrier and I'm
I'm the
dealing with
same.
that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but you have to just be resilient through it all and like make sure you're getting the help when you need it.
No, 100%. I'll just back that real quick. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's not corny at all. And the reason I say this is because I was the same way. There's a lot of periods where I felt stuck. And one of my good friends who's really, really into business and he has a successful consulting firm, he told me that you always know what you need to do. Somebody just has to tell you to do it. And that kind of
Yeah.
made me think for a sec, like, okay, all these periods where, I had no idea what to do. Obviously sometimes, yeah, the brainstorming will come up with an answer, but, having a little bit of a mentor, somebody who can help guide you and simply just
Just
reaching
to
out can,
validate what you're thinking. Sometimes that's all you need too.
Yeah, because if you have someone to reach out to, to help you a little bit with any questions you may have, it's a lot easier than, taking more effort and time to research it and look it up.
Exactly.
So I just want to say thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure to
Oh,
have you on our weekly business spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check her out, all our website information, address, phone numbers down below in the description. And do you have anything you want to say to anybody who might be considering coming to Houndstown?
no, thank you. I hope to see you there soon with your dogs.
Excellent. Thank you everyone so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next Wednesday for our weekly business spotlight.
Bye.